Hey everyone, welcome to Math Talk. I'm your host, Brian Heisler, and today we're going to talk a little bit more about some number sense, some tips and tricks for number sense, and we're going to focus on the divisibility rules. So we're going to look at the numbers 1 through 5 on this video. I'm going to do another video on the numbers 6 through 10. So let's get started. The divisibility rules for the digits 1 through 5, or 1 through 10 really, are good because they come in handy when you need to do things like simplifying fractions or using factor trees and some of those questions where you don't get to use a calculator for. It helps to kind of get an idea of how you can simplify numbers. But it only helps if you know the rules. So let's go through them and try them on some examples. The rule for number 1 is easy because every number is divisible by 1. It doesn't actually change the number at all, so every number is divisible by 1. The rule for number 2 is a number is divisible by 2 if it ends in 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. And the divisibility rule for 3 is actually says a number is divisible by 3 if the sum of its digits is divisible by 3. Okay? The rule for 4 says that if the last two numbers in your number, the last two digits, are divisible by 4, then the number itself is divisible by 4. And then 5 is a pretty easy one. It's basically if your number ends in 5 or 0, then your number is divisible by 5. So let's take a look at a couple examples to see if these rules apply. So I have the rules up here just for reference, and I have 3 different examples. 2 of them are smaller numbers, 1 of them is a larger number, but we're going to apply the rules. So, are any of these numbers divisible by 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? So let's look at the first one. 144, yes, every number is divisible by 1, so that's good. Is it divisible by 2? Does it end in a 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0? Yes, it does. It ends in 4, which means this is divisible by 2. 3, the sum of the digits is divisible by 3. So if I add up 1 plus 4 plus 4, I get 9. And 9 is divisible by 3, so this means this number is divisible by 3. 4, are the last two digits, or that number that's created with the last two digits, divisible by 4? So the last two digits are 44, and 44 is divisible by 4. So this whole number, 144, is divisible by 4. And lastly, does it end in a 5 or 0? Well, nope, it ends in a 4, so that means 5 does not work. So this number will be divisible by 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, let's get 120. We know 1 works. 2 works because it ends in a 0. 3, if I add up 1 plus 2 plus 0, that gives me 3, which is divisible by 3, so 3 works. 4, the last two digits are 20. And 20 can be divided by 4, so that will definitely work. And then 5. The number ends in a 0, so it can be divided by 5. So all 5 numbers work for this one. All right. Let's look at a little bit larger number to see how this applies. Well, we know 1 works, obviously. 2 works because it ends in a 0. 3, if I add up the digits, 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 8 is 14. And 14 plus 4 is 18. And 18 plus 0 is 18. 18 can be divided by 3, which means this whole number can be divided by 3. 4, the last two numbers created is 40, and 40 can be divided by 4, so that definitely works. And lastly, my number ends in a 5 or 0, which means it can be divided by 5. So this is an example, or a couple examples, of how you can apply the divisibility rules for 1 through 5. Again, this is really helpful when you're looking at factor trees or simplifying radicals, which are basically square roots, simplifying fractions. So I hope this helps when you get to questions like that. Make sure you check out the next video on the divisibility rules for 6 through 10. And thanks for watching. If you feel like after you're watching my videos, you think you may still need some extra practice in the classroom, you want to take classes with us, visit our website at www.gedyes.com. It'll take you right to this website, and you can find locations and where our classes are being offered. If you live in one of our neighboring counties, you can definitely visit our website, gedyes.com, and you can click on this link down here, FDOE Adult Educational Contacts. This will list the different contacts of the adult ed programs in the counties throughout the state of Florida. So you don't necessarily have to be in Palm Beach County to take advantage of adult and community ed classes. If you live in one of these counties, reach out to these people and they'll get you set up with classes in their county. Thanks again for watching.